morning. My name is Christopher Morris, and I'll be singing the song Imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living life today. Ooh. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Ooh. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. Ooh. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday that you will join us, and the world will be as one. And the world will be as one. And the world will be as one.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. What a lot of things to imagine, though. What, imagine such a place. I mean, idealistic. I mean, pretty much like the temple, I guess.
Imagine my brother Tyrel came in my room, took my computer.
We're going personal now.
My room. How come you come with my computer?
Because you've been using it for the whole entire day and Daddy says my turn to use it.
Yeah, I hear what him said a while ago. I don't think he talking sense. My computer, Tyrel, out of my room, you come take my computer?
Yes, I did.
Brighty.
Right.
Tyrel, I bought that computer with my money. And your father is going to tell you that you can take my computer.
It's not your father now.
Not really. And how could there be that it is my computer? There's no justice in this. It's my computer. And you come take my computer. You know what him say? Daddy say, you can't take the computer. No, it's my computer.
You want justice?
Of course.
Justice is my turn to use it. That's justice for me.
Tyrel, did you buy that computer? No, you did not. It's mine. You don't have the authority to come in my room and say, you understand? My room. Tyrel came in my room and took my computer. I'm going to say, and if it is that I did something, you know, everybody's going to say, over one computer. Yes, it's my computer. Uncle Mikey.
Yeah, my seemed to be a very important word. The my computer is my things. But it's true. So you say you want justice. What would justice look like to you?
If he asked me to use my computer, of course, I would lend my wonderful brother.
So the fact that daddy say don't make it justice.
No. Daddy don't have no talk here. It's my computer.
Boy. Back to my again. So my seems to be a very important word in this conversation. So you said she wants justice. What would justice look like to you?
Make things wrong make things wrong and make it right.
I don't understand.
Make things that are wrong to make it right.
So what you consider wrong is her computer, you know, she rightly say. It's not your computer. You have your PX box and everything, and I'm sure you guard it just as, you know, carefully. So what would justice look like to you in this case? I mean, because one of the things that we're trying to figure out what justice is. Because if I'm here as a peacemaker, one of the first things that we have to identify is what is kind, what is right, what is just, and what would cause a good solution. Because justice is not a destination, or justice is a process. You know what I mean? And one of the great leaders, or the spiritual leaders at the time, said peace is not absence of conflict, is in seeking for a solution that satisfies everybody. You heard her mention the word my. And we have to respect that, because my is a very important situation for most people. There are a number of people across the world who has never been able to say, this is mine, because they don't have anything. The system in place don't allow certain things. And we have noticed it along political lines, along color lines. So one of the great kings or rulers of the time have this wonderful song that Bob Marley did, until the philosophy that holds one race superior and another inferior is certain thing. As long as we have that, we will not know peace. And it describes peace as this fleeting illusion to be achieved but never attained. So what it means is that peace is something that we have to keep working on. What we can work on right, what we can solve right in this situation now is the situation called like justice. In other words, is hers. And all that she's asking for is that you ask her permission. Daddy can't give you that permission. Daddy should be there as the peacemaker. So daddy, and I'm calling out daddy wherever he is, him never have that right. What daddy should have done is said to her, listen, and acknowledge that is hers. And say, listen, allow your brother to use this now. And I'm sure it would happen. So what are you going to do? No. God, we have to resolve this situation.
I have to apologize.
No, don't have to. So apologize.
Mikhailia, if I know you're going to get this mad over that
No, it mustn't have no condition. It mustn't have no condition. You must just apologize. Because if you don't acknowledge it, you know, she can know that you don't really mean what you're saying. You know. You understand?
I'm sorry for taking your computer, Mikhailia.
Sorry, don't come so easy, no.
But
Because It's my computer. It's still upstairs. It's mine.
So suppose he
Oh.
promised not to.
Everybody break promise.
So what would make you happy then? What would make you happy?
Well,
You want a key for your room?
I do wish him out of order coming.
Yeah, we're on the part. We want to move to the next stage now where both of you not cutting after each other and we're sitting down. And so when you sit down at the dinner table, there's smiles all around.
Okay. I do accept your apology. But next time, acknowledge me. Just say, Mikhailia, can I borrow your computer? Because just a while ago, of course, I did not think it was mine. I thought it was yours because you had it. And you didn't ask me, but I accept your apology. And next time, I would like you to ask me, okay?
You see, and I don't want to preach today. I don't feel like that kind of mood.
Please
But
don't.
like I said, peace is, when you hear peace, more time you hear about peace and justice, it sounds so far away. It sounds like at a governmental level. One of our famous singers and poets, Peter Tosh, has a particular view, and his view is that we keep talking a lot about peace, but nobody talking about justice. And without peace, there can be no, without justice, there can be no peace. And it's probably nice if we think about it a little bit, and we're going to explore it a little more in song. But one of the Bible stories that we learned growing up is the story of Adam and Eve. And we found that probably one of the first unfortunate situations in the history, based on the Judeo-Christian Bible, is that Cain killed Abel because of, well, somebody said bad mind, jealousy, because of the acknowledgement. And is the father coming in again now? His father, based on the thing, to pray something for the father. And it caused, so we realized that this whole question of non-peace, and the absence of peace is not just war, it's discontentment. So it started, basically, we learned about this. And I think whether we look at the Bible figuratively or metaphorically, I think what it is saying is that it starts right in our small corner, in our little village, in our little family. So the same situation, the same solution, the same approach that you guys took to reaching peace in your family. The fact that I'm happy that I was here to just, and I didn't help you do it, all I did was just point out the situation to you and allow you to be your best self. Because finding peace is about being our best self. At our core, we are wonderful people created in the image of God. So when we be in our best self, we are in search of peace. We are in search of situations where people feel unwanted, unnecessary, or unfairly treated. And the situation is, how do we help to build a better world? How do we help? And you start building this better world by right in front of you. So have a conversation with Daddy. I think we did an injustice. I know I could come to you, but I didn't think that my sister, and I'm sure you didn't mean for her to get angry, but she got angry. I apologize for both of us. And sometimes all it takes is that acknowledgement that somebody didn't feel as good. Because it's really about feeling, how you feel when somebody is not paid after they've done a day's work. Resentment builds up in the heart, and they go home and they take it out on another family. So the situation can spread. So the same way that we know that joy can spread when you do a kind deed, discontent and thing can happen when we are equally, what do you call it now, not thinking of another person's. And I'm trying to stay away from all of the cliches or, the things that the very philosophic ways of talking about peace. I want to bring it right here to this thing, right here in this temple. In other words, there might be somebody in this temple now that having a heavy heart just because of something that somebody said earlier today or last week. And you know what is doing? Again, beg all of you. We could just stop for 10 seconds. Everybody just shut your eye for 10 seconds and take a deep breath. And if there is the slightest little hint of a little bad vibes against somebody, let us just, in this 15 seconds, just move it out. While Roslyn come to the thing. We're affirming the creation of a clean heart, a new spirit, and reaching out to all the people of the world.
I just heard Mikey say something. Morning, Temple. It's always so wonderful being here, and so wonderful being out, especially now. I just heard Mikey say something, and I remembered he said, before he gave the exercise of stopping and close your eyes for a few minutes if you're holding any resentment toward anybody. And I remember Reverend Sheila from UCT that I go to every now and then. Once she said something that really resonated with me. Sometimes we hold on to stuff, things that somebody may have done something to us, and it impacted us so badly, and we hold on to it while the other person is off on a cruise. And I've never forgotten that. That has always stuck with me, and I keep reminding myself that my peace is really my responsibility. And it's a process for me. I'm not going to stand here and act as if, oh, it's so easy. I just get up and I go, ooh, and I meditate. No. Because sometimes when I'm driving on the road and somebody bad drive me, I have to say, bless you. And I have to say it in that tone too. Because if I don't say that, something else will come out. So it's a learning process for me too. So yeah. So when Mikey asked me to sing, this song came to me. Wonderful song, always speaks to me. So hope it speaks to you too. Ooh. If we are one big family, no one will have to beg to eat. If we live in a world of dignity, no man will have to live on the street. If I tell you you're a part of me, there's no need for disbelief. Here's my hand to let you know that what we dream we all can own. Apart we are weak, together we're strong. Oh, people, yes. We're all right in this song. We're all living these words together. There's no reason we can't live and be one. Build the world that we want together. For as long as you stand here by me, we'll live on. Oh, yeah. Think of all the possibilities that the eyes of a child can see. Think of all the opportunities that float right by you and me. So take my hand and we will know that what we dream can be our own. Apart we are weak, together we're strong. Oh, Oh, people, do you know it? Yes, sing it. We're all right in this song. We're all living these words. We're all living these words together forever. There's no reason, no reason we can't live and be one. Just build the world that we want together. For as long as you stand here by me, we'll live on. Yeah. We'll live on. Oh, turn around. For as long as you stand here by me, we'll live on. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we'll live on.
We're gonna,
Bless you, everybody.
and we'll live on. And as I was taught to say here at the temple, and so it is, we will live on in peace, and peace starts right here at home, right, in the solution of all the simple conflicts. Who get the last piece of chicken? It starts right there. And like I say, the whole thing is just to be our best self, our God self, to kind of downplay the egos a little bit, and just be the best self that we can be. Because there's a joy that comes from it that you only experience, you only have experience. When you experience it, you know it. And hopefully something that you want to happen over and over. And sometimes all it needs for us to be a catalyst is just one kind word, just one situation. Sometimes, like I said, most times it takes one person to make a difference in a situation that is a powder keg that will just blow up if you don't say the right words. I enjoy a position in the music industry, or a reputation in the music industry as a peacemaker. And I treasure it so much. I mean, people have called me ready to do harm both to themselves and other people, harm to their careers. And at the moment, you're not even wondering why they call. You just realize that here is something urgent. And at the end of the time, when maybe later on you say to somebody, why you call me though? You and I are not even so close friends. And I'm so, boy, that is your reputation. I would kind of know. And I give thanks for that. I really give thanks for that. And I have to acknowledge the teachings of the temple, in reaffirming and strengthening this reputation and this feeling of wanting to make the right of every situation, make the situation the best possible situation, And you keep asking the question: is it necessary? Is it fair? Is it honest? Will it bring about feelings of goodwill among individuals? And sometimes we have to stop thinking about the world. Because the world is a couple billion people, and most of us can't imagine that. But we can imagine our house, the neighbor that have this like a miserable dog that just keep barking, that you really want to fling something and lick. And then you say, you fast forward, go 2 weeks, think. And one of the philosophies that most of us are 5 minutes either from making a good decision or a bad decision. And the difference between a lot of us is what we do in the next 30 seconds, how we react to situations. And these are some muscles that we have to build up, these patience. Like Roslyn was talking about the driving. I used to have road rage. I don't have road rage anymore. No, I practice, I set out. I read this thing and said, listen, whatever it is that challenge you, challenge yourself. So I challenge myself not to get road rage. I wave at taxi men when I'm bad drive me. And I have found, and I'm so creative when I'm in my car. Sometimes I actually pray for a little roadblock so that you can make a phone call or something. So in other words, when you start to turn what you used to consider problems into situations to better yourself, to build up the patience muscle and the love muscle, then we have to just give thanks for that. You know, we have to give thanks. So I give thanks for the temple, and I give thanks for those of you watching or enjoying the service out in digital space. And we are all, it's the first I've been here since the coronavirus. And like Roslyn said, it feels so wonderful. I mean, this morning I was up and getting ready and things, and it just felt so good to be getting ready to go out. And give thanks for this place. So those of you on Facebook, take some deep breath yourself and enjoy your coffee at home, as I'm sure we will here. I hope so. No, I usually look forward to the coffee here, because I remember I'd stop drinking coffee, and Reverend Suwana said, "Why you don't drink coffee?" I said, "Well, when I drink it, my heart races." And she said, "What's wrong with that? Your heart needs to race every now and then." And I said, "Well, if you're a doctor, you will say that." So I've been drinking my cup of coffee in the morning and enjoying my heart race and thing. And so listen, it is so nice to hear people laughing. I miss Reverend John laughing, and I could imagine when Roslyn was talking about she and the taxi man, I just take a little prims at Reverend John because of the colorful language that him talk about all the time. So I know it's a real thing. Jamaica is a wonderful place, and once we open our hearts to accept the good lessons from this corona lockdown, we're going to find that it was probably the best thing that happened to a lot of us. And I can get like a preview. Ernest Smith and Pluto and myself writing a song about the one good thing about COVID. Because we're having a conversation, and I'm sure it happened to all later. Almost every conversation you have with somebody, one of the things that gets said. You know, one of the good things about COVID is that. So if any of you have a good, what you call it now, limer, or good little lyrics that you figure would work in the song, just call me. But we have a duty. We have a duty to spread this little laughter and this joy to everyone that we meet here. One of the things that I've been doing every day is making a phone call. The emojis and things, fine, but they're not enough sometimes. And we have learned to code things. How you do? Well, I'm good enough. And you're not so good. So usually when I hear that, I kind of explore it a little more. You know, sometimes you don't want it because, you know, your budget kind of limited and you don't really know if you want to take on nobody else's, thing. But do it. Trust me, most time what people want is not money. Them just want to hear a conversation. Ask about the picnic, them ask about the thing. How you coping with COVID? I am coping by pinching. I mean, you're going to the supermarket. Carmen was talking about making lists to go to the supermarket. I have to make a list to go to the supermarket now because, the income not as much as it used to be. And so we have to deal with the expenses. So we have to help each other how to live physically. And one of the beauties about this temple is that it is tools of living every day. Not just being holy upon what a day. It's how you live. What the things that make you smile. Find the things that make you smile and fill up your life for them. We need to smile a little more. So like I say, it was really, really wonderful. So we have a job, and before the end of the day, we're going to help to heal the world. All right? So back to you, the boss.
Bosley. I'm sorry. That was it. That's the word.
Thank you so very much, Roslyn and Uncle Mikey. That was very beautiful.
Only about Chris, Chris.